Hello, everybody. Hi,
Hi.
Michael. How
Hi,
are
Claudia.
you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. Saturday, and it's sunny in Toronto. How's the weather in Tyler?
Beautiful. We're having just, well, it's always beautiful in March. We're having a little bit of rain today, but it's still beautiful. The azaleas are starting to bloom, the dogwoods, the trees. It's spectacular here in East Texas. And it's one of my favorite months of the entire year. So we're going to have a good,
Absolutely.
we're really going to have a great March here. So
Yes. And we're also going to have a really great next 45 minutes because for those of you that have not seen Michael and I present our business opportunity presentation, you're going to really enjoy our style. I met this gentleman. Actually, I have not met him yet personally, but I met him maybe 6, 7 months back. And we have had just so much fun as Crosslines, doing our meetings together, our webinars together. We just had a great product training in the morning. And it is just so nice to have this partnership and brotherhood and sisterhood with our teams. And this is what we're going to tell you a little bit about, why we love what we do, why we do it, and why we want you to join us. So that's our topic for today. We call it Business Opportunity Hawaii Extension, but it's just because Michael and I have a special heart for Hawaii, but it doesn't mean that it's only for Hawaii. It actually means anything on the other side of the Pacific or East that doesn't match a good time when we do our Tuesday night meetings. And so today it's Saturday at 1 p.m. in my city, Toronto. It's 12 noon in Mike's city. And so that means anybody that is earlier or later than us, we may have some of our friends from Kenya jump in and they're in the evening. And we may have our Hawaiian people that we want to focus and target on, and it's early in the morning there. So, Michael, tell us a little bit about you and a little bit about For Life.
well, I will. Welcome, everyone. Good to see everybody on a Saturday morning. I see some folks jumping on here on Zoom, and I love Zoom. I love this new technology. We're opening up this around the globe this morning, and we're focusing. Our Saturday focus is on the Pacific Ocean and going west from Hawaii, where Claudia and I both have a mutual love for that state. She lives in Toronto, as she said, but she and her significant other have a wonderful, spectacular, beautiful, small avocado farm above Kona, Hawaii. Kona, Hawaii is on the big island of Hawaii. It's the beautiful, beautiful island. I have a love for Maui, Hawaii, and that's kind of where I'm going to share start sharing some of my story today. It's about how I got started and where I found out I love Hawaii. And it is hold on just a second. Let me see if I can stop this for just a second so you can see me. And then we'll go back to that in a sec and share some of our opportunity and what kind of brought Claudia and I together. She's correct. We have not met yet personally. We will actually in a few weeks. We're going to both be in Salt Lake City at wonderful for a whole week of great mentorship, and our national convention is in Salt Lake City this year. But I have a great story. I share my story often, and for those of you that have not heard my story, oh great, we got some more folks joining in with us. I had been blessed way more than I deserved with an incredible career in the restaurant industry for close to 40 years. And 30 of those years, actually more than 30 years now, I'm getting older, more than 30 years owning and operating my own restaurants with a group of partners that we went off and started opening our own restaurants in the 80s. And that is my restaurant I'm standing in front of, or sitting in, as it looks like behind me, is the very, very first restaurant that I and a great friend of mine opened in 1987. And to this month, March 2018, it is a significant time. We opened at this restaurant in March of 1987. So we're celebrating our 31st year of business. this restaurant in Maui, Hawaii. So 31 years. Can you imagine that? We've got 3 generations of folks coming in our restaurant now that I've watched kids grow up coming in our restaurants. And now our employees have had children and now working in my restaurant. So we've got 2 and 3 generations of even employees working in this great restaurant. But folks, the restaurant industry was my passion. I went to the University of Houston and moved to Hawaii in the early 70s and worked in Waikiki Beach and in a wonderful restaurant and discotheque. If you remember what discotheques were back in the 70s. Moved to Maui in 1980s and late 80s, and we opened my first restaurant there. And over the next 2 decades, we opened 7 restaurants in Hawaii and California and Colorado. And I, to this day, still do own 2 restaurants in the state of Colorado. My Hawaii restaurants I've since sold. I live in Texas now, but love, love, love to travel back to Hawaii. My son grew up in Hawaii. We moved to Hawaii when he was 18 months old. And today he's 33 years old and lives on Maui. My brother and his wife live on Maui, so I love to travel back. And but jump forward to 2008, and I was introduced to the industry and the profession of network marketing. A great friend of mine in Southern California who I'd gone to college with was a successful home builder in his own right, introduced me to network marketing, and I fell in love with that model. And it was perfect timing. And if you think back to that era when the internet was first starting, not the first, but we're in the middle of growth of the internet businesses, everything was going digital. And now we are in this huge rocket ship pace of a global digital economy where our world has shrunk. And I started a network marketing company business, marketing some products and services, introduced to what we're going to share with you today. I met Claudia a few months ago. We are in the same company. We work together as partners, and we work with our leaders and our mentors. We'll talk a little bit about Gabby and her husband, Dave Daughtry, and Dave's brother, Dan, here later on this morning. They have just brought us into their family and mentor us and are showing us the path that they started 20 years ago and what they have built. But so jump forward. I'll talk a little bit more about this restaurant, guys. It was a great business, wonderful business. And I'll kind of compare it to what I'm doing now and how it differs. I love the restaurant business. I still do have the restaurants in Colorado. And my favorite, of course, from my heart is the one I'm standing in right now in the background of this picture, called Koho Grill and Bar in Kahului, Maui. This little cafe, again, celebrating 30 plus years this month of open. And it's a wonderful, wonderful little restaurant. And I still do love talking about it and sharing it. My partner that owns it today is a great, great friend of mine, almost a brother. But let me go bring up the slide again, Claudia, and we'll start talking about that and see if we can share what is on our mind today. We both have a great history background of business building, and we are business builders. And so we are really focusing now on building a network marketing profession and doing life differently. And we're doing life differently with For Life today. I started in this industry again in 2008. So I'm ending my first decade, starting my second decade of 10 years in the profession of network marketing. Love it, love it, love it. And what it allows me to do a little differently than building a big business from a brick and mortar, big company with a lot of employees, a lot of having to be in those restaurants daily. And now I'm a digital marketer. Claudia and I call ourselves digital nomads. We can work from anywhere in the world as long as we have our smartphone, our MacBook Air or laptop, and good Wi-Fi and a good backpack to carry it in. We very rarely even check bags anymore. We just live out of a backpack and carry on luggage. So, but For Life differently, Claudia, I know you were one of the few that introduced me to this company as well a few years ago. And Dave, and with Dave and Gabby, we're blessed to be on their team. We have an incredible team in this company, but this is the team we happen to be blessed to be on. There's wonderful other teams, some of those teams are inviting you also to watch this morning. And so we welcome you. We always will suggest that you want more information, gather information to make a good decision. If you're looking for an opportunity or looking for a product that can help you in your health, get back to those folks that invited you to watch this presentation and what we're going to talk about today, and they'll get your questions answered. So we are growing this internationally all around the world. It's a company that is based in Salt Lake City, Utah, and we have three pillars that we stress in our company. Equal pillars. It's like a three-legged stool. If each one leg is a little less shorter or longer, the stool gets a little unbalanced and toppled. We focus on these three in Salt Lake City, 20 years old. We'll talk about the finances here. We'll talk about the products. We're going to talk about the opportunity side, move forward. So Claudia, I've been rambling on here. You started this, but let's bring you in here. I know you and I really believe this, and we don't even not only believe it, we live it on a daily basis. And that's because Dave and Gabby and Dan and Sharon and everybody else on our team, from Margette to Kowinda to Beth to Judy to Rob to I'm forgetting a ton of people, but we all believe in together building people. That is our passion. We have a wonderful product, but what we really do around our globe, we have teams, and our team has teams in India and the Philippines and Africa and all over North America. But Claudia, what does that mean to you? We believe together building people. What does that mean to you?
Thank you, Mike. I always like the saying of one of the greatest motivational speakers, Zig Ziglar. He said, if you help enough people pay their bills, yours will be paid. Exactly. And so I learned this a long time ago, and it is about that. This is why I love network marketing. I could be doing many other businesses that will help me create that additional form of income or that full income, which there's just so many offers out there. There's a lot with e-commerce, and there's a lot with, the trading with the coins and all of this. So it's just, crypto, I'm trying to find the word cryptocurrency. And there's just so much that you can do to create an additional income or a full-time income. But what I love is that network marketing, you actually not only must, you have to. There's no other way to build it. You have to help another person become successful. Unless you help others become successful, you will not grow. And this is what I'm so passionate about, because I can use those 24 hours of my day, not investing in just me and how to create my future, but I invest them in helping others create their future. And that way I can, create what we call residual income. With For Life, we have a history. It means 20 years. This is one of the reasons I chose this company. In my portfolio, I am not I don't have a high risk portfolio. I am a single mom with a 6-year-old kid. And when I started opening my mutual funds and things like this, my financial advisor said, let's choose what kind of mutual funds you would like. And he said, low risk, medium risk, and high risk. And I said, medium risk. Let's not even go into anything else. Medium risk, it's for me. And so that's what we did. And so this is what For Life represents for me. I didn't want to join a company that was too old, that so many people had already tried it, heard about it, or thought my mom did it, my grandma did it, my boss did it, anybody I have heard, and it has not worked for them. So I believe, my opinion is that if the company has been there for too long, then it doesn't have that edge that we need. Now, new companies have a higher risk. And like I said, I am not a high risk investor. So they may look like they're offering things that are better. So the marketing is great. They're investing a lot on bonuses, and they give you cars. And if you get 3 friends, you're already going on a trip and things like this. This is high risk for me. This is companies that have been less than 5 years, even less than 10 years. I said, it looks good, but I'm not ready for it. So I chose For Life. For Life has been steadily growing for 20 years. We don't grow too fast. We don't grow too slow. We grow steady. So it was perfect for me. Perfect for me is we're a debt-free company. We own every single one of our buildings in any of the 26 countries that we're in, but we have presence in over 150 countries. So
Yes.
for me, that was fantastic, because I said I want a company where I can build in other parts of the world, and where I can build so I can travel.
Mm-hmm.
Because I love traveling. And we're going back to the digital nomad perception, which is, if I can train a team anywhere in the world and make money, that's where I want to be. So that's it on this slide.
Well,
immune science. You want to talk about this one?
Just real quickly, I agree with you 100%. That's why you and I are so like-minded, because I thought the same thing for a little different reason. I'm a little older than you. You do have a 6-year-old son. You're a single mom. I'm a businessman. But I'm also in my 60s. I'm 66 this year. I'm going to be 67, actually. Oh, my gosh. Anyway, I, too, at my years, now I am more low risk. When I was in my 30s and 40s, I could risk more. So I, too, was looking for an established company, but an established company with an incredible upside potential. And For Life does have that. We can talk more about that because of all of these. We were just that bottom right corner certificate or reward. We were just picked the best health and fitness supplement provider by an international global health and former company, and they picked us as the #1 in the best health and fitness supplement provider. Look at the patents. That is, we are an established company. That was one of the first things I looked at, and you're correct. We have had 20 years of consecutive steady growth. It's just like the rabbit and the hare. We haven't been up and down, but we've been just steady for 20 years, every year better than the previous years. So, and a lot of it has to do with how we focus on those 3 pillars of success and science and service. And so the immune science part, you and I both love this. You have a background and you love to study the science side of our company. I do too. And I know we've both met those 2 gentlemen up there in our laboratories. We have our laboratories in the United States. They are created at a pharmaceutical grade lab. Our labs, we're not a pharmaceutical company. We're a health and wellness supplement dietary company, but our labs are even better and more scientifically produced and created than even some of the pharmaceutical labs in our country and around the world. So what's your take on our science?
Yes, and I want to add,
you share this.
Yes, and I want to add just that we are actually the only network marketing company with an immunology lab in their in-house. Mm-hmm. So we do all of our testing, all of our research in-house, as well as we do a lot of our other, backup testing in big name universities. So I love this, again, because I was looking for a company that just was not going to have a product that was going to be able to be run down by the next big boom company. Yes. So I love this about For Life. And when I found and understood what it really meant, we are the immune system company. A lot of companies, they're the diet company or the weight loss company, and they want to put their name that, creates more attraction to them. I think for me, there's nothing more important now that I understand it than immune system. So as we start learning, and not only learning, but educating our friends and our family members and our clients into the importance of immune science. It's a slow process. Again, for me, it has been, sometimes I think, sometimes people think, why didn't you just join a beauty company? You were already in a beauty company for so many years. Or why didn't you just join something that is easier? Really, it's not that immune science is difficult. It's just that a lot of people don't have the immune word in their daily vocabulary. Exactly. But as you and I do, and as you and I know, this is where we are trending. So the world is trending towards immune system, immunology, everything that has to do with immune system. And so for me, again, the investment and the time that I have put into learning and educating myself will actually reap the benefits in the next few years, when a lot of people will turn now to me and say, what is it that you're talking about for the past few years? Because that's what happened to me. My sister took almost 4 years to actually get me to try the first product with our company. And I did not understand it. And it was that little bottle right there, the small one with the light cap. And so I don't want to get too much into the science, but what happens is that I was having a health situation that I have had since I was 12 years old. And it's a very simple one that a lot of people have, that were just seasonal allergies. And so my sister kept just saying, you need to learn more about this, and you need to learn more about the immune system. And like I said, it was a foreign word for me. I did not pay attention. I just said, I'm just going to keep taking this little pill that my doctor gives me. And, you know, what I kept saying is my insurance covers it. So I was being very cheap with my body, and because my insurance covers that one, but it actually doesn't cover a natural product. I was like, no, I don't want to spend money. My insurance covers the Allegra or Reactin and all those things that I was taking. But what was happening was that I was getting worse and worse, and I already had puffers, and I had, my breathing was getting worse every year, because they were not only seasonal, they were through the whole year, but they were worsened with the seasons. So when I started taking this product, I was like, I need to read more on this. And again, I'm not going to touch too deep in the science, but what the body does, it starts working the way that it should be working. So you were created with an immune system from the moment that you were born, developed it through the first 20 years. It's a very strong to the next 20 to 30 years. And then it starts actually going into a downline for the 30, and after your 30 years, your immune system starts getting a decline. So when I started understanding that it's not about taking care of yourself when you're 50 or 60, or, when you're reaching all the pains and aches that you have with old age, you actually should be taking care of your immune system at around 30 years of age. And I started recognizing the importance of understanding that transfer factor is a very vital part of our immune system. It actually recognizes response and recognizes the threat of something that is happening. So I'm just going to give an example to make it easier. I like keeping science simple. And this one was like the simplest form that I could understand this. When you are in a bed and you're sleeping and you feel something wiggling in your feet, and you take your covers off and you see there is a bug, what do? You automatically slap the bug away, or slap it to kill it, or whatever you do, but it's an immediate response. So this is what transfer factors actually do. They respond to the threat. You have a bug in your feet. You don't want that bug in there. Now I'm going to give you the same example. The next day, you're actually sleeping, same bed, same scenario, and you have your covers, and you feel something wiggling in your toes, and you take off the covers, and guess what it is? It's your cat. Do you slap the cat? You don't slap the cat because it's your cat or your dog or whatever. Maybe you may not want it tickling your feet, but you're not going to hit it as if you want to kill it, like the cockroach or the bed bug that you just, whatever animal is crawling in your feet. So I'm very visual with my examples. And so I want you to think of this, and this is what transfer factor is. Transfer factor recognizes if it's a friend or a foe, if it's a friend or an enemy. So if it's a cockroach or a cat, and it actually sends the signal to respond appropriately. So if it's your cat, it's not going to respond the way that it would respond if it's a cockroach. And then it actually takes a photographic picture of that friend or foe, that in case that it wants to attack again, it's actually going to do it in a faster, more efficient way so that you don't get the symptoms. And so we explained this last time. It happens with chickenpox, which is a great example. You only get the symptoms once in your lifetime, which doesn't mean that the threat doesn't come several times in your lifetime. It's just that it responded and remembered it. And so now it's not going to create those symptoms again. Transfer factor is in every single human and every single mammal, and it's transferable. So what happens is that with our patented formula and everything that we have, we are able to take this transfer factor from some of the animals that are our friends and borrow that immune information to make our immune system stronger. So it's made for the immune system and by the immune system. Nothing that is not already happening in your body. We're just now making it optimal. And so that's all I want to say about that. Michael, go ahead with Targeted.
Okay. And what we've done also over the last 20 years, we started 20 years ago, folks, with that one little product, transfer factor, and has evolved into Trifactor now, and of course we have the Trifactor Plus, and so and we now have over 100 products. And in the transfer factor line, we have targeted transfer factors that can help with cardio and eye and kidneys and liver, and help with blood sugar, maintaining and supporting blood sugar, and healthy stress levels. We have products that are designed exclusively for women and exclusively for men. So the targeted products are also wonderful. It helps us that we can really work and support our immune system in so many different ways. We have other products. We have antioxidant product supports, personal care products, body transformation products. Claudia came from a company that was in the personal care line, primarily for women in the personal care line. And we have that also. And so these are all wonderful lines of products that we can share by word of mouth and just move. That's what we do all over the world. We do have 25 corporate offices in 25 countries around the globe. And as Claudia said, we are able to sell our products and offer our products in over 150 countries around the world. But as we grow this company, you can see now that we have created four different lines of businesses within our business, almost 4 different companies, all under our For Life name. And so skincare, healthy aging, weight management, wellness, look at those numbers. Well, those are annual numbers and growing every single year in our globe as our globe shrinks. And now we can send products all over the world with a click of a finger through the internet and through our websites. But that's the potential. As a businessman, and I know Claudia is a businesswoman, another reason we understood and chose this company to market for, because of these numbers. So how would you, if you're watching this, looking at this, you're thinking of where you are in your life, you might be a single mom as well, or you might be a baby boomer like myself, might be concerned with future income as you're approaching your retirement years, or you're in your retirement years and thinking and worried about income that'll last you through the rest of your life. How would you live life differently? Are you in your 40s or late 30s? Well, probably not the 30s. I'm thinking of college kids. You have 3 kids, 4 kids that you're going to have to put through college, knowing what that number is, needing that money to put them through college. Are you a baby boomer and you want to celebrate a 40 or 50 year major anniversary and take your significant other to Europe or Hawaii and need to make extra income? How would you do life differently if we could show you an opportunity that on a part-time basis you can earn an additional stream of income? And we, as a company, offer you 7 different ways that you can earn money. All 7 of these, we're not going to go through each 7 in detail. Again, get back to the person that invited you here to watch this. But we can show you. If you're a school teacher, a fireman, a stay-at-home mom, or want to be a stay-at-home mom and raise the kids, and we can show you 7 different ways that you can earn an additional stream of income that you can bring into your family on a regular basis. I'll show you just one here, an example. The one of the team commissions, number 5 there. This is just an example. Claudia and I have been with this company for a few years now, and we know this, and we were taught this. We were trained by Dave and Gabby that in the team commissions, here's just a simple example. When we get started and you get started in our company, we set you up with your website, and then you go share our products, start selling our products. And on the team commissions, you go share this with 6 people, and they want to also start building a business, and they just buy 3 bottles of our transfer factor, just as an example. 3 bottles of transfer factor. They might, if they're a couple, the wife might take a bottle, I'll take a bottle as the husband, and then we might share the 3rd bottle, or we might sell the 3rd bottle. But as a commission, you're going to earn an $18 commission. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a start. And over time, this is what happens in our profession. Now you start moving and you're growing, and we opened up in Hawaii and the Philippines and all throughout North America and our states and provinces of Canada. And now you just repeat that and duplicate that down to 36 folks getting 150 or buying 3 bottles of transfer factor, almost $1,000 now on a monthly basis. Do that on the 3rd level. And it just starts growing all over the world because we can sell our products in over 50 countries, and we can have the partners and business distributorships in so many other countries. And now your total is growing up over $2,000 a month. Ask yourself what an extra $2,000 a month would do on a regular basis for your household, or $2,000 to help put your child through college. What would an extra $2,000 do on a part-time basis, full-time basis? So that's just an example. We earn free products in our company. They are so generous. Our company in the last 20 years, we're celebrating our 20-year anniversary next month in April, what I mentioned earlier, where I'm going to meet Claudia. There's be tens of thousands of us thousands of us coming to Salt Lake to celebrate this 20-year anniversary, of which we have sold over $3.2 billion in transfer factor products throughout the globe in the last 20 years. And For Life is so generous, so generous because of the business model. If they were a conventional company, they would not be able to do this. But because of how we distribute it, and we're an online company, we are able to pay out up to 64% of revenue back to the distributors. So over the past 20 years, over $2.4 billion, or whatever currency in the world, has been paid back to the distributors in the form of commissions. So, and loyalty orders. Builder bonus, that was another way, one of the 7 ways to earn income very rapidly if you want, up front on a monthly basis. We can talk about that in our training. We have excellent training. Just show you how you build a business in our company and can get to certain levels and grow and start reaching other ranks. In other words, if you were a restaurant manager and become a restaurant supervisor and then a restaurant district manager, or if you're an insurance agent, whatever you are, if you want to start, as you know, if you're a realtor within the realtor business, you can move up and become a brokers. And so anyway, we have the same structure in our plan, in our business plan, on how to grow. I know, Claudia, you have been on our Great Escape extended trips. You were just recently on a cruise in the Caribbean. Share about how this is one of the rewards too that we receive, and one of the rewards that our company is so generous with.
I have to say that every network marketing company has their own trips. We're not saying we're the only one.
No.
This is one of the key features of joining a network marketing company. So, because a lot of the people that are going to be watching this video may or may not have been in a network marketing company, we want to tell you why a trip paid by the company is different than a trip that you pay.
Yes.
So here's the thing. When you go on vacation, you actually have to, okay, so let's say you have a job and you have a husband or a wife and you have your children. The first thing you need to do is actually pre-plan that all the schedules work at the same time. So this is already a hectic, it's already causing stress on people. When you're in a network marketing company, you already know you're going to get at least 2 trips a year if you work really hard, and they're going to be completely free, and you're going to get to take an additional guest into these trips. So you already know when they are. You are working, as Michael and I are, full-time in network marketing. You know your vacation is already paid, and you know when it's going to be. Now, the next thing is that if you're working in a company, you have to ask your boss for the vacation, and they have to approve it or not approve it. Now, with network marketing, they're recognizing you and giving you and treating you to not only the trip, but you're actually getting some gifts additionally for this. And now the third thing is, for those that do work and get some beautiful trips, as I did in my previous company, I always used to get some amazing trips, but there's a big difference. Those trips were more of an incentive, and some of them, because of tax purposes and things like that, there had to be some kind of training, but they're there for a reason. They're there to recognize you in my previous company, but you also, I was a manager, I was not a distributor. So the difference that I have is, if you're in a company and you're a salesperson in some of the car dealerships or technology companies, you probably already are getting a trip, and it's probably paid, but the thing is, it's almost like they expect after more from you because they're giving you this trip, they're recognizing you, but after they're like, okay, now it's time to get the numbers up, and so you're still working at a high stress level because you, first of all, have to perform, have to get the trip. For me, I was a high performer in my company. Everybody that knows me knows that every year I was going for those trips, and I got almost all of them. But for me to get those trips, it was exhausting because it was a competition. So the competition is a lot of the times they were only meant for the top people. That's number one. And some of them where all of us would get to go, it was also based on performance and the next performance for the next year. So completely different than now. Now I make the trip if I want to. If I don't, I don't. So there's no competition. But the other thing is we're all trying to make it together. There's no, it's a limited amount of spots. And so I got to go with over 200 of the distributors there's different trips. So it's around the world, but you can choose to go into the Asia trip, or you can go into the North America trip. So I was in the North America trip. So most of the people that I met, I am great friends with a lot of them now. And so let me tell you, if you want to have a beautiful trip where they're recognizing you and giving you and just honoring you for the work that you have done, network marketing is the way to go because it's just beautiful.
I agree. And it goes back to people building people. That's the philosophy of our founders and owners, Claudia. And that trip is about building relationships, building people, and rewarding us. And again, you're correct. It's a group of business owners versus a group of employees. If you're working for a car dealership, you're living in Hawaii all those years again, we would constantly have big conventions come into town, and they would reward the real estate agents and the insurance agents and bring them there. But they were employees. It was a different philosophy versus a network marketing, folks, is such a different philosophy than being a business owner in a traditional way where I had 600 at one time we had 600 employees in our restaurants, and they worked in our restaurants, but they were employees. They weren't business partners. So I built that with a different style of culture. The wonderful thing that Claudia and I love about network marketing is the culture that we're not employees. We're all friends, and we're building relationships, and we're working together for the benefit of everyone and making a difference in our world. And that's kind of where it goes into that center slide, that creating meaningful and lasting relationships. We are so excited that we are actually going to physically get the chance to meet and share a cup of coffee and give each other hugs in Salt Lake City next month. So far, we feel like we've known each other we're brothers and sisters, and we feel like we've known each other forever, that we do that in our industry, in our profession. But we do build wonderful, lasting relationships. The other thing I want to focus on here, too, that with Claudia and I, she is a digital nomad. I'm a digital nomad. I'm a baby boomer digital nomad. And I love that I can build now a totally different style of company that I did with my restaurants, where we had 7 physically brick and mortar restaurants that cost millions of dollars to open and build. And now I can build my network, my For Life company all over the globe with a laptop and a smartphone and a backpack. I mentioned that earlier. We can build an international company. I was on a chat this morning at 4 a.m. with some friends in Kenya. We are having folks watching this from all over the globe. So we can build a global business with a laptop, smartphone, and great Wi-Fi in a coffee shop, today I'm in my office here in Tyler, Texas, and building relationships. The third area we haven't talked briefly about, and we'll touch that now too. One of the main reasons, if not the number one reason, I ended up choosing For Life. I've shared a lot of the reasons I've chose For Life, a lot of factors that went into it. But this other slide over here on the right, folks, gain the opportunity to help others. It's that third leg of our company, and that is service. There isn't anything we do in our company that isn't first based on service. That is David and Bianca Lisenby, our founders in that photograph. They just recently returned from a 3-year leave of absence as owners and operating of our company to serve as missionaries in Brazil. Bianca's heart, their passion is for children. We have orphanages that we support around the world. We have a feeding program. We have fed over 6.7 million children in a fortified feeding program with transfer factors and healthy product all over the globe, and we're just getting started. That has just been in the last 6 years, not 20 years, that we've fed 6.7. We foresee a vision of 10 million, 20 million children. That is the service side of our company. We actually do have a nonprofit arm of our company called Foundation for Life. Foundation USA, Foundation Research is our for-profit company, but we also have a nonprofit company that was founded about 10 years ago. And I know, Claudia, you have a heart for the Dominican Republic and South America and Colombia. That's where you're from, and we feed a lot of children in Colombia through some programs down there with our partner, Feed the Children Foundation. Talk a little bit about your heart for the Dominican Republic real quickly.
We started, many orphanages around the world, but one of the first ones that For Life, thanks to Platinum International, Esdras Cabrera, started investing love and funds and, where the money was going was the Casa Rosada. And La Casa Rosada is an orphanage. There's many more, but I'll talk about La Casa Rosada because that's like our signature orphanage. Many of the children there, all of the children there, were children that had been abandoned because they had AIDS. And so when they chose this orphanage, it just matched so perfectly, because what we do is not only through just money, because we do give money to a lot of the causes that we have, but not only the finances are the priority. We actually have a special program called Fortify, where one bag of very specially selected rice, lentils, and a mixture of our transfer factor product that we talked about before will feed a child for a month. So think of this, you're not only actually giving them the food they need, but you're giving them back the health. So a lot of these children that were born with AIDS and were left to this orphanage actually have been taking our product for over now 19 years since we started with Casa Rosada. And a lot of these children have actually now gone into having regular lives, going to university. We had one of them speak at our convention last time, just thanking everybody, because every single bag and every single dollar that people have donated, customers and distributors, has helped many of these children live a regular life because of better health, and because they have opportunities like they didn't have before. So it really touches my heart. We have this in India, we have it in South America, in many, many, many of the cities that we have.
We have a wonderful center in South Africa.
So if this is something that you like, we can talk more about that.
Or you can go to foundationforlife.org and check out our foundation side of the business. But it's a wonderful part. We give so many distributors from all over the world, all over the globe. We really do give back, and that's part of what we do and that's the three-legged stool. They all have to be equal to keep that stool stable. These are our founders. Bianca and David, and Steve Tews, our chairman of the board, Danny Lee, president and CEO, who are leading us into this next growth spurt. They believe, folks, even being 20 years old, that we haven't even gotten started, that we need to get the transfer factor to millions and millions and millions more in the world, from Africa to Asia to South America, all corners of the globe. And these are the folks that are leading this company into the next decade. We have step-by-step training for Life University. We have that can teach you how to do and build a business within the profession of network marketing. It's a proven product, proven system, and we can train you. If you're a school teacher, stay-at-home mom, don't feel intimidated because you think that you don't know how to build a business. Moving from the restaurant industry into profession of network marketing, I too had to go back to school 10 years ago and learn this profession. And I still had the leadership skills that I had in building my business, but now I've received personal mentor. Again, I keep talking about Dave and Gabby and Dan. They have been such incredible mentors to me in showing me and Claudia the path we need to take almost on a weekly, daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis to reach the goals that we personally want to set. And we each have our own personal goals. So you have a personal mentors, you have corporate support that is just amazing in the trips and what they support us with. So we have 3 options for you to decide from or choose from now as you've watched this opportunity. We've talked a lot about the product side. We've talked a lot about the business side. Claudia and I are business developers. We're professional network marketers, and that's what we do. I don't have another job. This is my personal business. I'm building this as a business. But you can also just start out as a customer. Claudia was a customer for years before she decided she had a job. She was in a great company in management, had a wonderful job that took her around the world, but she was a customer in our company. I started out directly as the business developer and became a customer in our company by starting to use the products. And now today I've used the products for years. I love them. They have helped me and support my immune system, made me feel so much healthier to allow me to travel the world as a digital marketer. Or the third area, you can become a retailer. And that's a simple way of stay-at-home mom again, or a realtor, or a school teacher, or a fireman, police officer, whatever you are, a college student that needs an additional income, or a college student graduating with in our nation, college students are graduating with an ever-increasing debt with student loans. You can become a retailer and have a website and just sell our products. One of the 7 ways we get paid is 25% commission on just selling products through your website. You don't have to carry inventory. If you want to carry some inventory, you're welcome to, but our product is shipped directly from our plants and manufacturing facility in Utah. So if you have a customer in Canada, Toronto, Dallas, Texas, Miami, Florida, Honolulu, Hawaii, or Moscow, or Rome, Italy, Nairobi, Kenya, you can, wherever in the world, we can sell our products through the website. You can earn 25% commission on that product. So sell up to $100 worth of product, you get $25, and For Life will pay you daily. In other words, tomorrow on every 20, they would pay you the next day for those products. So you receive that automatically deposited into your account, a 25% commission. So those are the 3 areas. Become a customer, become a retailer, or become a business developer, and be all 3 combined. Because I sell a lot of product. One of the things to think about, folks, if you never understood residual income, if you're a real estate agent, if you sell that house today, yes, you make a commission on that house. In most cases, on average, it's about 6% on that house. You have to go sell that house, another house, though, to make another 6%. Much of my income within my network marketing company is based on work I did years ago, gathering a customer who is buying our transfer factors and products, targeted products, and finding that it is supporting them and finding that it's bettering their health. They're strictly a customer of mine. They buy that product regularly, basically on the same day every month. They have it set up for automatic. And so work I did 2-3 years ago, for almost 4 years ago now, I earned in March of 2018 when they buy it again. And I will continue to earn that commission next month, next year, years from now. And that's the wonderful residual income. So you can create wonderful regular income on a regular basis by just being a retailer also. But first of all, we value our customers more than anyone. We have great customer service. Claudia and I and our team of distributors around the globe, we offer some of the best customer service. We help you decide the products you need. We help you through nutrition, all besides the products. We have a complete package of helping and giving great customer service. Claudia, I know you highly, highly agree with me on this. We are so like-minded as business developers, but your quick comments on the 3 choices and what you would suggest for someone looking at and watching what they're watching right now with us today.
Well, the most important thing for me is to help people understand the why. So if you don't know what you actually want to achieve in life, then you don't know when you're going. It's like a map. So if you're going on a long trip, let's say that you were going to travel to India, we're in North America, so I'm just going to say India as an example, or China. You probably have to know how many days you're going to be there, and also why did you choose that country. So here's the thing. If you don't know what you want in life, it's going to be very difficult to actually make any additional income in any company. The company that we offer you today is for life. The product is health and wellness. If you are into health and wellness, into living a life that is about vitality, about being healthy, about like Michael and I, just having less pain and more fun, then that is a big why. The why for me is being as healthy as I can, to see my 6-year-old grow as long as I can. I want to be a grandma. I want to be a grandma that is active. I want to be a grandma that is, that can move. And so find your why. And so when you find your why, you will also fall into, if you want to become a customer, a distributor, or a leader. If you want to become a customer, your why is you want better health. If you want to become a distributor is, well, I can invest in myself, getting better health, and I can share it with other people and make money. Now, the third one, which is the one we choose, and the reason why I chose this is because I came to Canada late. Like I've been living in Canada for 18 years, and I had just graduated from university, so I don't really have a pension back home, right? You don't really start saving or have a pension in the first 18 years. So think of my first 18 years. I don't really have a pension. My father actually lived with, he closed everything that he had, so I didn't inherit anything from my dad. He lived well until he could, and he sold the company, and that's it. So nothing there. Then I got here, and so let's talk about the next 20 years. The next 18 years, actually. I've been 18 years in Canada. So the next 18 years was, I'm going to start saving from some, in the States, you guys call it our 401, I call it our RSP. But after I actually got a divorce, my income took a big hit. So my portfolio started shrinking. And not only that, I've been investing in my business for the past few years. So it's a good investment, no pain there. So some savings that I had in some certain parts of my portfolio, I've been investing to live while I set my business, which is great. That's what investments are for. Now, here's the thing though. A lot of you out there that are watching me, first of all, don't even have a portfolio. I already know that because, there's just not enough money at the end of the month to put anywhere. So that's that. Number two, you don't have your mortgages paid. So in my case, we were just starting to pay a mortgage, and I got a divorce after 5 years, and we made a deal. So there's no house. So I have no house. I have a car that is all paid for, but it doesn't cost a lot if I would sell it, and I can't really sell it. It's the one I use. And my investments have been slowly shrinking because I live right now out of my savings. If you have savings and you've made very good quality decisions on your portfolio, congratulations to you. You are amazing. And I don't know how old you are, but if you are like the regular folk, average, like myself, the investments that you have made have not been enough to take you over the slump after you turn 65, or you probably have nothing, which means you're going to end up living out of government pension, which is not enough, or asking family or friends for help, which means you're going to end up living with your son or your daughter, which a lot of people don't want, or you're going to end up asking or sharing your life with them. With a friend or something else. So again, I'm talking as a single woman perspective. If you have a husband and both of you have made good financial decisions, congratulations again once to you. So what I thought is this: okay, I have two decisions. I can stay in my job, which I've been for 14 years, and I can stay there until I'm 65 and save a little bit more and have, like, my salary was good, but it was more about bonuses and commissions. And I was getting really tired of the heavy weight that I had to, carry on this job because it was based on commissions. So, I have a good salary, excellent plan. I had company car, great trips, and a lot of companies do that. But really, if I wanted to top my salary to be a 6-figure income, I had to work and work and work and work and work. If not, I would not have gotten over the, because it was a sales job. So I was a manager. So I thought I need to make a big change in my life. And the big change is I can't keep this rhythm and take care of my son for the next 15 years until I turn 65. I'm going to be completely, like, my body is not going to be where I want it to be. So what happened is this: I took the decision, I left the job, and I said, I'm going to do a network marketing business, because network marketing businesses done properly can be built 5 to 10 years. I'm not at the theory that you can build it in 2 to 5 years. A lot of people have, I know personally people that have, but I like to average it down. And why? Because I want to live an average life. I don't want to live a life where I have to work 10 or 12 hours a day, because you could build this business in 2 years if you work 10 to 12 hours a day. So if you're ready, your children are grown up and everything, hey, you can do it in 2 years. Myself, I chose life. I chose life with my son. And so I might take a little longer, but I enjoy my son, I enjoy my life, I enjoy my mom. If I need to take a day off because I was sick a couple of weeks ago and just disconnect from everything, I can afford that. If I can have lunch with my mom at 12 and sometimes just sit with her and enjoy a conversation without having to rush about anything, that's the life I chose to live. So again, mine might take 5 to 10 years, which is what people average, but guess what? After 10 years, I will have, and I can assure you of that, I will have over 2,000 people under my team that will be making money because we have been supporting, helping, and duplicating these people make life differently. Exactly. And so this is my promise. If you want to be one of those people, and again, to build a team of 1,000, I don't really need 1,000. I just need six that have six, you know, it really is based on duplication. And so all I want is 3 to 6 business partners that are consciously business oriented. So if you're listening to me and I share this video with you and you're somebody that wants to enjoy life, and you can take it faster than me, or you can take it at my rhythm or even slower, but you want additional income or full-time income with network marketing, let us show you how. Talk to Michael, talk to myself. We're the ones that share this video. If somebody else shared this video with you, talk to the person that invited you and say, how can I make? And then find out your amount. How can I make $500 with that business that they're talking about? Or how can I make $5,000 or $10,000 a month? Whatever you decide, we can help you.
Exactly.
And so that's that on that.
Thank you, Claudia. I love it. I love your passion. You're just so passionate and excited. And folks, she's exactly right. And let me speak to the businessmen and women out there. And that's because that's my background. For 32 years, I've owned and operated my own business. But I do understand the employee side too. I do understand the single moms. But let me talk to the business owners out there. Folks, back in 1987, when I opened that restaurant that you saw, I just changed. This is still Maui. I love to row. I can't wait to get out to Maui here in the next couple months and get back into the canoe and ride and row with my peers. But anyway, 1987, when we opened that first restaurant, I was with 2 partners. They had their young children. We had to raise money, and that first restaurant, even in 1987, cost $175,000 to open. It's a small little cafe, again, celebrating 32 or 31 years open. And the first couple years, like you talked about, Claudia, it doesn't happen overnight. It took us over 3 years to start earning a profit. Any business is that way, even a network marketing business. But we can show you, again, how to set it up to grow it over 2, 3, 4, 5, even 10 years. If you can go out 10 years, you have no idea what you could create in 10 years if you follow the system. But again, jump forward to 2007 when I opened my last restaurant. That restaurant cost $1.4 million to open in Colorado. We built it from the ground up, and it has tremendous overhead and monthly rents and monthly payroll and insurance and food costs. And to run that brick and mortar business costs thousands and thousands of dollars. And yes, it does produce income in the restaurant industry. Compare that to my For Life business and Claudia's business, or to the network marketing profession, where for a few $100 to $1,000, you can open a business, open a company, either part-time basis, full-time basis, or somewhere in between, and I can still generate over years, like Claudia says, over 3, 4, 5, 8 years, I can, for a few hundred or $1,000, open an internet web-based business with no employees, very, very little overhead that can generate the same income, the same revenue with even higher percentage of income that I do in the restaurants. It just makes sense to me, particularly at 66 years of age. I am low risk now. I can't see myself spending another $1 million to open another restaurant, which is a highly risk business, when I know in the network marketing business, it's more stable. We have 20-year history. We can show you the numbers, what this company makes, what each individual makes on a regular basis. We can train you how to do that as a business person. If you want to be a retailer, I can also train you how to do that side. And as I said earlier, we are highly prioritized in customer service. So if you just want to be a customer of Claudia or I, of any distributor with For Life, become a customer. I promise you, you'll get the best service out there. But look at this as a business opportunity that can take you over the next 5 to 10 years to change your life and replace a business or a company or a job that you're not happy in. But we have an opportunity here. We love it. We're particularly reaching out to Asia and the Pacific Ocean right now today. We love, Claudia and I want to lead and build and teach Hawaiian residents how they, in a high cost state to live in and raise children in, how they can, can earn additional streams of income. So if you live in Kona or Kahului, Maui, or Kihei, Maui, or Honolulu, or Kauai, or even on Molokai or Lanai, if you need another opportunity to raise additional income for you and your family, we have a proven business that we can teach you, and we will back you up, and we will train you. We will be in Hawaii regularly training and teaching. That's our passion. I can't wait to get back there and jump in that canoe, the Kihei Canoe Club. I'm a senior now, so they put me in a new category. So I've got a higher, I can now compete again. I couldn't compete with, I can't compete with those 50 and 40-year-olds. They're a little faster than me, a little healthier. But anyway, Claudia, thank you so much today.
Thank you.
I will see you in Salt Lake next month. And then we've got to plan another trip to Miami, and we got to plan another trip to Hawaii together next time.
That's right. That's right. Lots of
folks,
things.
have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Get back to the person that shared this with you. Get your questions answered. Make a decision, customer, retailer, or join us as a business partner. I promise you, you won't regret it with that low risk. Again, think of that, 1.4 million to open a restaurant, a few hundred to 1,000 to open a network marketing company. And we will show you how to build that into a dynamic international company. Thanks, Claudia. You have a wonderful rest of the day.
Thank you. Aloha to you.
Have fun with that little son of yours. Go have a fun
will.
Saturday. Everybody else have a wonderful Saturday and a wonderful weekend. God bless every single one of you. And we'll see you back here next Saturday morning as well. So God bless you. Bye-bye, folks.
Thank you. Bye-bye.